All right. All righty. All righty. Welcome, everybody. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time we're doing one of these lives or every time we upload a new video. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Joseph Gamble. I am the home buyer mentor. I enjoy turning renters into homeowners. On today's live, guys, I have a treat for you. I have a special guest. Her name is Autumn Waters, and she is with Chase Bank. She's going to give us all the tea on Chase Bank and how they can make home ownership a possibility for you. So I'm going to let Autumn Waters introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and what she does. So take it away, Autumn.
Thank you so much, Josette. I really appreciate this opportunity because you could have chose anybody that you wanted to choose, but you chose me. So thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here. So again, my name is Autumn Waters. I am a community home lending advisor with Chase Bank. My NMLS ID is 745626. And I have been with Chase Bank for approximately 9 years. I absolutely love my employer. I love what I do. And I have been in this new community role since we have done our racial equity commitment for 2021. So it's been about 2.5 years that I've been in the community home lending advisor role, what makes me different from other home lending advisors or mortgage officers is that my role was created specifically to help home ownership with African American and Latino and Hispanic home buyers. So as we know, we want to have a higher conversion with African American and Latino and Hispanic home buyers. So they have me strategically placed in
Oh,
branches that are in Tampa, Florida, where the majority minority census tract is high. So you can find me over on Fowler Avenue by University Mall. You can find me in Town and Country, off Hillsborough and Sheldon, Waters and Hanley. You can find me in Brandon. Really, you can find me all over the place, right? But I think it's important to know that Chase is making the moves to place us, okay, in specific areas to help with homeownership rates in those majority minority census tracts.
awesome. Awesome. I was going to ask you to tell us what that means, the community home lending advisor, but it seems like you just wrapped it all in one. So you're basically here to help the communities, right?
Correct.
And that is all over, not just Hillsborough County, right?
Exactly. So with me being a home lending advisor with Chase, I can do mortgages all over the US. So even if you don't want to purchase here, or maybe you're in the military, you're being stationed somewhere else, I'm your girl. I can originate loans all over the US.
Oh, that is so amazing. Well, tell us some of the programs that Chase offers to home buyers.
Absolutely. We have a lot of programs. As a matter of fact, I was just writing them all down quickly and I'm like, wow, we really have a lot of things to offer our customers because our customers are such a diverse base. We
Mm-hmm.
don't just service a particular customer. We service so many different people with so many different walks of life. So it's really important to know that Chase makes home buying products diverse for everyone. So the first thing that I want to start off with is our $5,000 Chase home buying guarantee. So basically, what that means is that we will close your loan in less than 30 days, or we will give you $5,000.
Oh, wow.
That's huge. That is huge
That is
because banks, and especially bigger banks, they've had the perception of, oh, they move slow or they don't close on time. Well, we wanted to do something about that. We wanted to change
okay.
that perception and what that looks like. And the gift used to be 2,500, but now it's 5,000. So if we do not close your loan on time, and it's because of Chase, something that we have done, then we will give you $5,000 to offset that cost. We also have our Chase Homebuyer Grants, where we give up to $5,000 off of closing. We have VA grants, where we give all of our VA customers $2,000 off of closing, and these grants are stackable. We have first-time homebuyer programs. We have an asset advantage program, which is like bank statement loans. We have our HBA program. We also have a relationship pricing program where if you move a certain amount of funds to Chase, we give you a discount on your interest rate. So the programs is a lot. I could stay here all day and go over all the different programs. But it would be important for you to give me a call so that I can get to know you personally, and then I can help you to decide what program best fits you.
Awesome. Awesome. You have a program that's called the Dream Maker program. What is that?
Yes. Our Dreammaker program is our first time home buyer program. So, some banks may have the perception, or some people may think, oh, if I go to Chase, I might have to put 20% down or 10% down. Well, I'm here to tell you that our Chase first time home buyer program, called the Dreammaker, you
Hmm.
only have to put 3% down. That
Okay.
beats FHA, because FHA, you
Yes.
have to put down 3.5%.
Yes.
So you only have to put the 3% down, and it's a conventional product. So it's a
Okay.
win-win. And what that means is that, your seller, when you're giving that information to the seller, they're more likely to take that offer because it is a conventional over FHA.
Awesome. Does this program comes with a PMI?
It does come with PMI, but it is less. So the PMI is significantly less than if you were to put down 3 or 5% on a regular conventional product.
Okay, wonderful. So I know you said the program is for first-time home buyers. What are some of the requirements for that program?
So our minimum credit score requirement is a 620. Okay. That's a big one. You have to purchase obviously as a primary residence, so you cannot use it for an investment property, even if it's your first investment property or a second or vacation home. You absolutely have to use it as a primary residence. And of course, this goes without saying, but your financing has to be with Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you'll be surprised some of the questions that I get, but I want to make those things very clear that those are the requirements. They are also income restrictions. So we make sure that our first time home buyer program is catered to the people who absolutely need it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to make sure that you're not making more than 80% of the area median income of where you live.
Okay.
So those are some of the requirements. There's other things too, depending on, your application, that we may have to look into or to tweak, but those are the main requirements of the Dreammaker product.
All right. Awesome. And you talked about the AMI. Is there somewhere they can go check their AMI? How do they know whether or not if they're in the 80% AMI above that or below that?
So we run it. We have an actual like system that connects to those websites that check
Mm.
the area median income, because it could change by zip code.
Yes.
So every zip code, when we're doing a pre-qualification, we put that in. I know the FHA website has an engine where you can check to see what the area median income is. I don't have
Mm.
the website offhand,
It's
but
okay.
if you type in those keywords, you can
Mm.
definitely pull it up. But it's based off of the zip code. So it's not just a flat blanket amount. You'd have to plug in a few things for it to calculate that for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, I you said you had some grants. How do that work? You had some grants. Do they have to pay them back? How does that work? Well, what do they have to do to qualify for the grants?
So here's the good thing about our grants. We have the VA grant and we have the home buying grant.
Hmm.
And those grants you do not have to pay back. Hence
Hmm.
the word grant. So whenever
Yeah.
you hear that word grant, it should be free money. And make sure that you're looking into that. Exactly. It should be free money. So you do not have to pay back the grant. Our VA grant is $2,000. So as long as you are applying for a VA loan, you are a veteran, you will
Hmm.
automatically get $2,000. And you can use those funds towards your closing costs or to use towards your down payment or buying points. Also, our home buyer grant is based off of the geography of the house that you're purchasing. So it has nothing to do with you. It
So
has
just
nothing to do with your
location.
income. It has nothing to do with the purchase price. It strictly has to do with where the house is located. And
Okay.
there's two grants. So one is 2,500 and one is 5,000.
Okay.
And when we plug the address in, the system will determine how much it is. And the good thing is that you can stack those grants on each other. So if you're a veteran and you happen to be buying a home in a majority minority census
Mhm.
tract, you could literally be getting up to $7,000 of free money automatically from Chase Bank.
Wonderful. Do you guys work closely with any other grant programs? I know these were Chase Bank grants, but do you work closely with the city or the county? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Chase does not work with every single down payment assistance program. I will be the first to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Being in this role, it's taught me how much goes on behind the scenes when it comes to legal and
Yeah.
selling homes and buying homes and just everything that goes in the background that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to work with a down payment assistance program or agency, it does have to be vetted through our legal team.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in Tampa, the biggest one that we participate with is the City of Tampa DARE program.
Mm-hmm.
I work closely with them, and it's a great partnership where our customers are getting a lot of money. There's a Tampa program, and then there's also the East Tampa, where there's additional funds stacked on top of that. Where I think the maximum that you can receive right now is between 80 to 90,000. So, that's something that you definitely want to look into. Now, everyone, of course, doesn't receive that. It's based off of your income, it's based off of your household size, and other variables. But there's a lot of money that you can receive, and those programs are also stacked
Mm-hmm.
with the Chase grant. So it's not like you got to choose. You can smush them all together to give as much money as you need. And I definitely work hard to make sure that that's done. We also work with the Tampa Housing Authority with Section 8.
Section 8. Yeah.
So I have a partnership with them also where their tenants go through what's called the FSS program
Mm-hmm.
to get certified, where they will change that rental Section 8 income to mortgage income that pays for the mortgage for up to 15 years.
Awesome.
15 years.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Great.
huge. And I'm here to help get that information out there because a lot of people don't know this.
That's true.
I also work with St. Pete Housing Authority and
Mm-hmm.
St. Pete Down Payment Assistance. We have a relationship with several. So the what we would do is basically pre-qualify you and then see which program works best for you based on where you're trying to live.
Awesome.
So we have a ton of programs that we are already qualified for in our system.
Mm-hmm.
And we're guaranteed to help you get the best one.
Awesome. Now, what are some of the requirements for these programs that you were just talking about, like the City of Tampa, their program, and the East Tampa CRA? Do they have to get separate qualifications for that? How does that work?
Absolutely. So any program that you sign up for, you have to get approved in for their program. So if you're using, Section 8 and you're also using down payment assistance and you're also using Chase, you technically have to get approved for all three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
maybe one thing may not work and the other one will.
Mm.
So every single agency that you work with has their own minimum qualifications. For
Yes.
instance, one of them may require that your credit score is only a 600.
Mm-hmm.
Chase may require that your credit score is a 620, and the other one may qualify that you have to have a 640. So, in order for you to make all three of them work for you, you'd have to have that top score of 640 for it to cascade all the way down. So that's where you have to really do the research on the agencies that you want to work with,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that it's something that you're able to do.
Awesome. And is home buyer education required for these programs, whether it be yours or the city?
So with our Dream Maker program, the first time home buyer program, We actually give you a $500 credit for taking a first time home buying class with a HUD approved program. So you're definitely going to want to take that class. It's not long. You just learn the do's and don'ts about home buying, and you get $500. I mean, I would definitely sit through a few of those classes to get $500. So that's one incentive that we definitely give. Now, as far as applying for the down payment assistance, they require that you take that same home buying class.
Mm.
So it's kind of like killing two birds with
Like
one
one
stone,
step. Yeah.
because you're going to get the incentive from Chase, and then you're also going to get the certificate to be able to apply for the DARE program. So you should definitely start there first by signing up. There's 3 HUD certified housing counselors in Tampa, which is
Mm-hmm.
Solita's House,
Mm-hmm.
Reach, and Housing and Education.
Mm-hmm.
Go online to their websites and look up a class and get started with that, because everything has a wait list, everything takes time. But at least that's one check mark that you can get out the way by signing up for the soonest available class.
Awesome. Well, Autumn, you're doing such a wonderful job. It feels like we have like jump on everything already. So yeah, serious, because we talked about you're gonna need home buyer education if you want to use any of these programs, which is basically
Absolutely.
very important because it is actually educating us or educating the buyer about the process of home ownership, and not only the process, but how to keep the house after you buy the house. That is why it's so important
Exactly.
to do that. So you talked about that. You talk about the grants that doesn't need to be paid back, because that's why we call them grants. You talk about the qualifications that we're going to need to qualify for these programs. Are there any other programs that you think that people should know about?
I could go all day. For a first time home buyer, I think those are the biggest ones. I think also knowing about FHA. Sometimes FHA gets a bad name.
Hmm.
When people have stereotyped FHA, but I'm here to change that stereotype. FHA is absolutely a great product,
Hmm.
because your interest rates are lower, and naturally your fees are lower.
Hmm.
And it does not take a long time to close when you're working with a bank like Chase Bank, where we can, put you on our HBA program and get all your documents looked at. You should definitely be able to close in the same amount of time. Definitely look at your options, because I feel like a great loan officer is not going to just stick you anywhere. We're gonna place you, and here at Chase, we make the time to really get to know our customers. So as far as products, those are our first time, home buyer programs. But definitely give me a call. Just said I appreciate you even having me on. And anybody who decides that they want to contact me, I will prioritize Josette's customers
Hmm.
and make sure, that we get you scheduled to come in. Chase has over 60 branches in Tampa. We have a very large base. So not only are we here to help you with just your mortgage needs, we can help you with auto. We can help you with checking account, credit cards, investments, helping to save for college for your children. There's so
Hmm.
much more that we can do. We're not just a one-stop mortgage shop. We're here to grow your entire financial portfolio. So I would definitely love to meet anybody, and take the time to get to know you. As a matter of fact, if you guys are on social media, which most of you are, please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is autumn, AUTUMN .waters, WATERS 1.
Hmm.
So you can find me on Instagram at autumn.waters1, or on Facebook at Autumn Waters Chase Community Home Lending Advisor.
All righty. And I'm going to include your handles and your link in the comments um, section of this video, so you guys can check that out. You could just click on it or give her a call if you have any more questions for Autumn. Autumn, what do you think the amount of a down payment a buyer should have? Like most people say, well, I don't have a lot of money in my bank, or I don't have this, or I don't. What do you think a good down payment is going to be like?
I think a good down payment is always at 3.5%. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I say that is because just in case you don't meet the minimum qualification for Dream Maker because of income, we
Mm-hmm.
can always place you up to the 3.5% for FHA.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're buying, for instance, a $200,000 home, you're going to want $6,000
Six
for down
thousand.
payment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Whatever your purchase price that you're interested in, times that by 3 to 3.5%. And then
Mm-hmm.
you want to also add on approximately another 3% for closing costs. And having a good cushion, because the last thing that you want to do is spend all of your money down to the dollar when it comes to buying a home, because
That is
underwriters do
true.
look at that. They
Yes.
want to see that you have a little bit of cushion after you buy. They want to see, oh, if the air conditioner breaks or the toilet overflows, is
Yeah.
this person going to be able to pay for that? Because you're no longer calling the maintenance man. It's all on you. And that ties back to your comment about the home buying education.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things that you may not think about, that class can definitely teach you.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, what about the debt to income ratio when it comes to the Dream Maker program? What is that like?
So the debt to income ratio can vary. It can vary based off of your down payment and credit score. So I go over debt to income ratios individually because it can change based off of who you are, what your debt looks like, what your credit score is,
Mm-hmm.
if you have collections, if you have a higher down payment. So it's on an individual basis, and we go over all those things with you.
Awesome. Do you guys have any programs for lower credit score? Because I know you said 620. Do you have any programs that would allow for a lower credit score
The lowest credit score is 620. So we start absolutely at a
at
620.
620?
And we look
Awesome.
at all three scores and take the one that is in the middle. So your
Awesome.
middle score has to be a 620 or above.
Or above. Awesome.
Yes.
All righty. So the last thing I wanted to touch on real quick, I think you said you had a bank statement loan
Yes.
option. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. We have the Chase Asset Loan, and the Chase Asset Loan basically is known as our bank statement loan. And with
Mm-hmm.
our bank statement loans, they start with at least $1 million in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's basically for customers that have, maybe they're in between jobs, or maybe they're starting a new business, but
Self-employed
they have
people.
a little bit saved. When I say a little bit, I should say a lot, because $1 million is a lot, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it's a good thing to have, and it's more so for our affluent clients, or anyone that has those kind of assets saved, but you don't have to provide income documents.
Oh.
So basically, we're going to make sure that you have at least 3.5 times in the bank of what the house is purchased or priced for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do. We take a look at your assets, we go back a full 12 months to make sure that it's been there. Your credit score does have to be a little bit higher. I think it's either I think it's above a 700. So,
Yeah.
if it's at a 620, we're not going to look at it. We definitely want to make sure that you have a higher credit score. But I can definitely go over all the criteria with anyone who's interested.
All righty. All righty. The last question I'm going to ask, I keep saying last because I keep getting some more. What are the requirements to qualify for a loan in general? Somebody's starting off, first time home buyer, they don't know where to start, they don't know what to do. They call you and they say, "Hey, I want to see if I can buy a house."
Right.
What are you looking for? What are the requirements to qualify for a loan?
So it's broken up into four pillars. And the four pillars are income and employment,
Mm-hmm.
credit, your assets, and then the collateral, which is the property that you're buying. So
Okay.
with credit, we just spoke about it. We're looking for a minimum of 620.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you definitely want to take the time to clean up your credit. No collections, get your debts that are past due up to date, and make sure you're making your payments on time. And just
Mm-hmm.
because you have a 620 does not mean that you're going to be approved.
That's true.
We look for the number of trade lines you have open. We look for the number of positive accounts. What are you paying on that's healthy, and your credit limits. So you definitely want to go on a little credit diet, is what I call it, and get that tightened up. your assets, meaning how much money do you have for down payment and closing. We look at several things: checking, savings, CDs, money markets, stocks, even a 401k. A lot of people don't realize that if you're buying a primary residence, that you can absolutely break your 401k to do a withdrawal and not have to pay for a penalty. You do have to pay taxes, but you don't have to pay a penalty for taking withdrawal from your 401k. But we want to definitely make sure that you have enough to cover whatever your down payment is and closing costs are. The
Awesome.
next part is the income and employment. So 2 is the magic number. We want to see 2 years of employment history, not necessarily 2 years at the same job, but we want to make sure that you have a 2-year employment history with 2 years of W-2s and 2 years of tax returns. If
Mhm.
you're a business owner, then we absolutely want to see 2 years of business tax returns, and we're going to use the combined amount together
Mhm.
to determine your income for the business. And the last thing is the collateral. So Chase, we can help you purchase new construction, which is like Lennar, DR Horton, where we don't have to fund until the house is built and appraised. Single family homes, which is your traditional house with a yard, condos and townhouses. We do not do land loans and we do not do mobile homes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Awesome.
Mhm.
Now, I know that there are some programs out there where people can use their rental income, like their rental payments, to qualify to help with their credit score. Do you guys offer such things?
So, I mean, it'll help with their credit score, but it's not like a program. It's
Okay.
just the fact that it's helping to build their credit. So, if you can get your landlord or the apartment complex that you stay with, even your utility bills, to
Mm-hmm.
report on your credit report, I would highly recommend it. But
Yes.
before you do it, make sure that you're a
Oh, I lost you for a while, Autumn. I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. There you go. Unmute yourself. And she Alrighty, guys. I'm sorry about that, but that was Autumn Waters with Chase Bank. She is the community home lending advisor for Chase Bank. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to get more information about some of the grants and some of the programs that they have available, I will put her information in the comments. I am looking to see if we have any comments right now. I don't see any. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as well. Don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. Hit the notification bell so that you can be aware every time I upload a new video. It just happened that she got disconnected right before we were about to end. So I'm going to wrap this up. I hope that was informative to you. Again, if you have any questions, put that in the comments. We'll try to answer them as best as we can. Have a good Wednesday afternoon, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.